I always say Gabriel's Angels is a magical story. I mean, it started on accident, but it continues with unbridled purpose. Our first year of providing pet therapy services, we reached 1,500 abused and neglected children. And last year we reached over 12,000 in Maricopa County and in Tucson. We have over 100 therapy teams working in 90 agencies. These include crisis nurseries, domestic violence shelters, homeless shelters, and group homes for teenagers. In the state of Arizona, a child is abused and neglected every hour. It is Gabriel's Angels' mission to intervene in this cycle of violence. These children only know anger and violence, but we know through the interactions with the therapy dog, they can learn compassion, empathy, and learn to trust again.
And that's really truly where you see cycles broken, is through good programs like through Save the Family and partnering through Gabriel's Angels, who bring the dogs in for therapy. It just thrills me to walk in and look at a classroom where the dogs are with the children and just see the smiles on their faces, that they're having a good time, like kids should have a good time.
At Gabriel's Angels, all of our dogs need to be registered through the Delta Society or Therapy Dogs Incorporated. These are independent organizations that test the temperament, behavior, and the overall ability of the dog. Once the dogs are registered, Gabriel's Angels puts them through training.
We designed a tool that gives our pet therapy team volunteers a means by which to reach these children at the most effective level. These tools may include an exercise, a game, or role modeling, anything that will reach the child. Some examples of items that would bring the child into direct contact with the dog are very soft brushes, a toothbrush and toothpaste. We also have a stethoscope, and they're starting to learn the basics of empathy and compassion, possibly for the first time in that child's life.
If children do develop healthy core behaviors, compassion, empathy, trust, joining in, tolerance, respect while they're young, we know they are precursors to ending the cycle of violence. Our program revolves around developing these core behaviors for these kids.
A lot of the children we see here at Homeward Bound have emotional issues. They're not attached to their mom, they're not attached to dad, they've been sleeping in their car, going to school hungry and dirty and tired. Since Gabriel's Angels is here consistently, these are all things that will build not only the child's self-esteem, but start building him emotionally.
These kids haven't had consistency in their life, therefore will not form relationships because they're afraid that relationship won't be there in the next time. So bringing the same Gabriel's Angel pet partner pair back over and over again so the children can form a relationship with that dog is critical.
Children don't forget, and if you promise them something and you don't deliver, they'll hold that and keep you to it. It's a trust issue. You tell them you're going to be there and you show up, and that means the world to them.
Our volunteers are regular people that hold down jobs. They're busy, but they carve out that time to visit with the children. They're a team with that animal when they visit. They are one-on-one together to try to break through and make that intervention.
Flash really likes to have people pet him. He likes to be brushed. I was so happy to see his reactions and how open he was. The kids just love to pet him. He's very calming. I think the children can see this.
When these teams arrive at our programs, our kids' eyes just light up. They anticipate, they expect them to be there. For children that are in a limbo kind of situation, not knowing where they're going next, and seeing what a difference an adult and an animal can make in their life, it truly is rewarding.
There are unexpected pleasures every time I see a child who maybe is very shy and timid, and after walking the dog on the leash, they become very enabled and very empowered. You see wonderful and magical things when the dogs relate to the children and the children with the dogs.
When I started Gabriel's Angels, I had no idea of the demand for our pet therapy services, and we strictly rely on donor support. Since we served 12,000 abused and neglected children last year, I think there's 25,000 that need our services. We have a dozen facilities on a waiting list, and we need to recruit volunteers and grow to reach these children because every child deserves this.
From a veterinarian standpoint, that's what has impressed me so much when I first met Pam and learned of her work with the children. And we've had many experiences where animals have been able to accomplish things with children that adults couldn't. And so that's what intrigued me most about Gabriels Angels, to be a part of that.
If we can affect our children, if we can create a society where abuse goes away, then that is probably one of the most worthy things we can do with our monies. One of the reasons I'm there is it's about the children. It's about breaking that cycle of violence.
Ideally, we would love to be able to have Gabriels Angels come to Casa de los Niños and have a different therapy team for each age group. It accomplishes a lot for our kids.
Why I really chose Gabriels Angels is because there's so many different charities out there, but they actually have proven results. And that is phenomenal. That's what was the cinch for me of why I chose Gabriels Angels.
Who cannot have feeling for an abused or neglected child? I think that's the first and foremost thing that drives us to the mission here. Who doesn't love their pets and their dogs? And I think this is a great combination of using those two resources for the betterment of the community and the children that we serve.
The children that we deal with have a shell that they've built around them. But these therapy dogs soften the shell, allowing their unconditional love to reach each and every child. And when there's love, there's hope. And when there is hope, anything is possible.